Welcome everybody to Mark Bajerski Live. Topic tonight, or wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is spiritual warfare, or as I like to call it, the battle between light and dark. Welcome everybody. Um, could you just give me a yes if you can hear me okay? That's great. There's a slight delay with the comments because I think I set that deliberately so I can see the comments, because if there's more than 30 or 40 or 50 people on, it goes that fast that I literally can't see the comments. So thank you for joining me tonight. This was either going to be a video that I was just going to upload and make and put it out there. And then I thought, you know what, let's just do a live tonight. And, it's very, very short notice. I understand that. A lot of people came onto the healing session last night. I really appreciate that. The amount of people that came on, it was really beautiful. But it actually, there's a sad part to that as well, because it shows how many people are in this place of fear and suffering and illness. And this is what we're going to go into tonight. So if you can be here however long, it's just lovely to have you all here. So I'm going to get straight into it, and I'm also going to look at the chat box, and I'm also going to look at some of the questions and some of your feedback as well. And I'm just going to crack on with it and start by saying, at 38 years old, my eyes began to open slowly. We call this the pineal, the spiritual gland. We call it the alpha mode, the third eye, and that was quite fascinating to me, because prior to that, did I know of such things? Did I feel such things? I think we all do. I think ultimately, even when we're born and we start getting older, we feel things and we see things, and I think that's one of the reasons why. I don't know about you guys, but there was a double-edged sword with this feeling, and this is the whole point of spiritual warfare. The first thing they do is they send you into a prison where they basically brainwash you into their way of being. And when you were in that school, if you were anything like me, you knew there was something wrong from the moment you were in there. You knew that this is not this is not what I signed up for. This is not why I came here. But there's not much you can do when you have a father and mother who just followed the same system. And I don't know if anybody ever did this, but the dream of leaving that school, just getting out of there. Well, I think that's a little bit like the poison needle that was offered and forced upon people. It's very similar to the forcing of many things in life, and one of them is the propaganda of lies and manipulations in a school system. So when you're in there, certain people like me were fighting to get out. We were fighting to find joy. We were fighting to find freedom. We were fighting. It was a constant battle. And the day when I had the courage and the strength to walk out of that school, when I should have been in that school, when I woke up in the morning, I made the conscious decision on my own to not go into that school for reasons of bullying, for reasons of I hated school with all my passion. I hated it from my core, because I knew it was wrong. I knew that is not how it should be. On a side note, when I went to ballet a few years ago, there was a school there called the Green School. The Green School is a different way of teaching. It gives you the freedom. It teaches you in a different way. It's more of a guidance, but gives you the ability to make choices. When you are in these kind of prisons, what I'm talking about, what I went to, you don't have choice. And there's something in this spiritual warfare of choice. We call it free will or freedom. They take that away from you instantly. And that is the start of your spiritual battle between light and dark. So, what and why are you already in a spiritual war? I actually put what and why in regards to the spiritual war. What and why? Basically, how do you know? What reason and why? It's an interesting topic. It's a layer upon layer. When I look at all of these things, it's like there's you, and then there's an army of darkness on so many levels. And let's say that each level, whether they know it or unknowingly know it, they're all creating, let's say, a cake. They're creating a cake that they want to eat, but they don't want you to eat it. So that the cake that they're creating is on a spiritual level, on a ground level, on each level, there's a layer of cake that needs to be created. And each one of those participants in this cake knows exactly where they start and end, where they have to wait. So the first layer at the bottom needs to be coated, needs to be, mixed and prepared, and then go into the oven. And then when it comes out again, it waits to cool down. And then the next person comes along with the next layering of whatever the chocolate is. And then somebody else comes along with the next layer. This is spiritual warfare. It has so many layers. Or we could look at it in a different way of there are so many different levels of unseen energies. So the energy of unseen can be unseen around us, could be unseen within us, and so on. So there are so many levels to this story. One of the things that I'd like to ask you is, what do you think personally, in the sense when I ask you, if there is a spiritual battle and there's a spiritual war, what do you think this darkness, this entity, this evilness that is within this world? Let me ask you a fair question. What do you think they do to keep you in this spiritual warfare? I'm going to give you a few points that I have seen with my own eyes and with my clients to how I see this darkness and how the spiritual battle between light and dark works. So the first thing I think they do is keep us unaware. So they spend their time and effort on this planet, in this bodysuit, and they have their puppets doing what they do. They have their spacesuits that they can manipulate through many things, doing certain things. So what do they do to you? They keep you unaware. So they don't want you to have awareness. So that's the first thing. So when you're in a spiritual battle and they have you, when people are unaware of what's happening around them. I don't know if you can relate to that or not. That's the first thing I saw. The second thing, they keep you in prison. Now, what does that mean? A prison could mean many things, but I'll give you an example. Religion is, to me, a prison. A cult is a prison. It keeps you frozen. And that's another subject as well, the frozen energy. They keep you busy. If you're always busy and running around like I was, a Scarlet Pimpernel, that's another way you can tell when somebody has been caught in this spiritual warfare. They keep you entertained. A perfect one. Give them bread in circuses. Bread meaning feed them. keep them full, keep their belly full, and give them entertainment, circuses. Okay. So you normally will sit with somebody who just talks about drinking, watching football, and what's Coronation Street or your favorite movie, and so on. They keep you sick. Keeping you sick. Think about that. When you are sick, what can you do? Zero. Nothing. It's game over. So they keep you in drugs. They keep you in alcohol. They keep you in your cities. What do you mean? Well, when was the last time you went out of your town? Oh, I traveled an hour away. Where else have you been? Well, I haven't been abroad. Why not? Well, I'm all right where I am. I'm happy where I'm happy where I live. Yeah, but that's not what you came here for, mate. That's not what you signed up for. Just so you know. So that's why you may understand now my teachings, because I teach in the sense of I share to people to give them the courage to leave where they live, to break free from drugs and alcohol. I teach all of these things that I'm sharing with you about the prison of the schooling, keeping you, trying to make you aware, trying to help you from not being sick. The other one is following gurus. If you follow a guru, you are in the spiritual war and you're losing. So a great example right now is Trump. Everybody's waiting for him to become president because they think that as soon as he becomes president, everything changes. You are in a spiritual war and you are in the thick of it. They keep you needing. I need this. I need that. I need this to happen. I need that to happen. I need to buy this. I need that. They keep you in need. You're a victim of the spiritual battle. They keep you in hate 24/7. They keep you in fear 24/7. And lastly, which is one of my favorites because the balance of this is very, very challenging, they keep you in a state of non-trust and belief. So there's a fine line between saying, now be careful who you believe and be careful, who you're listening to. But then again, there is also a fine line of stepping over the line in going too far and not believing in anything and trusting in anything. Because if you don't believe in anything, then it's easy to fool you, right? It's easy. If you don't trust anybody, it's easy to fool you because you're being fooled by not trusting anybody and anything. So now you're just in a limbo. And this is the genius of this chessboard, this game, which is played by the greatest manipulators, which in turn is not just it's channeling of dark energy. So the manipulators have to manipulate from a source, and the source isn't the brain. The source is channeling of entity, demonic and dark energy. So I want to interact a little bit. How's this sounding thus far? Over the top? Does it sound digestible? Does it sound possible? What do you think? Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, again, and to a degree, you're absolutely right. And I spent probably 12 years believing the opposite of the last thing that you said. It's up to each of us to set ourselves free and to move forward. I was in the belief system that we were here to come together as awakening souls, and that would change the world. And then I realized, after spending all those years trying to be involved with people, and just trying to be involved with a group of people is the hardest thing in the world. And then I realized that that is actually spiritual warfare. This is another way of hijacking us to believe that we should come together and we'll make that difference, we'll make that change. So I believe wholeheartedly now that the spiritual battle between light and dark is a personal one. And if we all find our personal truth and we all stand in our personal warrior self and energy, and everybody else does, then there's no need to come together to feel strong and powerful, because you already feel strong and powerful. But those in the need of wanting to be in groups, because the only way they're in a group is because they feel strong and powerful. But that's actually a psychological thing. And I also believe that's something to do with something inside our DNA where we feel more safe, like animals do when they come together, like sheep. We feel safe because if a wolf comes, then like, please God, let it not be me who gets eaten. Well, that's coming together for the wrong reasons. I'm not coming together with you because it's safer. I am not going to do that. That isn't the real true light and the lighthouse. And that's why I started sharing this idea of the lighthouse is the true version of what we should be. We should shine our light in a world of darkness. And that's when people see that light and then think, that's beautiful. I want to shine a light. And that's how we do it, not by coming together in that sense, because you will automatically come together in the same frequency if you work on yourself. But you don't come together in the same frequency when you all just come together. It doesn't work like that. You have to individually work on yourself. You have to heal your wounds. You have to heal your trauma, your blocks, your everything, your physical, every single thing you have to work on. Once you've done that, then you vibrate at a frequency of other people. And sometimes you will meet people who vibrate at the same frequency. So spiritual hijack. What does that mean? It means everything good is now bad and everything bad is now good. They trick and fool. They're the snake. They're the devious of devious who constantly try to sell you things that are not sellable, that are bad and poisonous and the worst and meaningless and meaningful, meaningless and useless. They try and sell you Netflix. Netflix is a way of selling you what you need, what they're trying to telegram you with what they're doing next, part of telling you what you should think and feel and what is real and what isn't real. You've got a man who constantly tells you that the earth is going to die, constantly saying that we're going to die, that the earth is going to die. You've got films on there constantly telling you that the world is not the same world anymore, and there are portals being opened and there are new demonic entities coming in all the time. You're getting films on sicknesses and illnesses by viruses. You're getting films on there that are normalizing cutting heads off, body parts, cutting body parts, just killing and glorifying that to be a good thing. You're getting films on there which are all to do with zombies, normalizing zombie energy. Well, it makes sense because most kids now are becoming zombies by the black screen. You've got your agenda, all your agendas. There are all the major companies that are pushing one world government. That's Agenda 2030. It's not even hidden anymore. It's there in plain sight to read and see. World Health Organization, all of these three-letter corporations are all in it together. And that's why they're pushing this idea of climate change lies. They're pushing the virus. They're pushing wars. They're scaring people every day by saying that the world is going to die if we don't get rid of animals. All lies and lies and lies, pulling you into the spiritual warfare. So that's the first layer of this cake. The second layer of the cake is a little bit more interesting because it's one that you can't see. Everything that else I've taught to you about is easy to see, easy to do your research. It's easy to find when your eyes are open. And the second one is the invisible energy of darkness. Darkness comes in many different forms. And I have tried to share this with you guys through the years. If you ever hear me talking about ghosts, spirit trapped in between two worlds, spirit in denial, and all the other entities from the world of entity and from demonic energy, there's so many different forms of energies that can connect and manipulate. Some easy, some more difficult. So why is it so important that many people talk about health and well-being? Because without health and well-being, you are a target for sure for the entity. The entity cannot touch you as a beautiful soul. It cannot hurt you as a beautiful soul up until you cause your body illness, sickness, or other things. I'm going to just give you a few running ideas and thoughts, drugs being one of them, whether it's drugs from ayahuasca, which can tap into things that if you're not ready, you can draw in certain things. Drugs that are pharmaceutical drugs, that is 100% one of the most easiest ways for entity to attach to you and then start to cause you the worst thoughts and feelings, depression, suicide. Why did I want to even hurt that person? But I did. Why do I want to kill people? I just felt that I want to kill somebody. Why do you have bad thoughts? Why do you sometimes wonder why you feel like you why do you even think that? These come to mind far stronger, more potent and more powerful, and they normally stick. And when that happens, it's because you are either a drug addict and you're taking it all the time. And this is why Big Pharma is pushing it so much, because you are an easy target for entity and demonic possession, which in truth, more and more I'm seeing more rapidly, it's getting out of hand and out of control. Alcohol is another one. We've heard the expressions, there's not enough room for two spirits inside. And it's true. Alcohol causes demonic entity attachment, and it can be really severe. And that's why a lot of people struggle and don't even realize that when they are an alcoholic, and even after 5 or 10 years, they're still saying, I go to AA and, I haven't touched a drink in 10 years. Well, why are you saying that? Why are you proud of that? Why are you saying that? I'll tell you why you're saying it, because you're not healed. You haven't healed yourself. You are still attached to a demonic entity or an entity. So it's still within you. That voice is still there. That push, that need for something is not you. It's a demonic entity. There's no way alcohol can make you want alcohol for the rest of your life. That's got nothing to do with alcohol. Nothing to do with alcohol. It's to do with the entity that lies within. I have seen people stop even wanting to touch alcohol and think about it again when they have this attachment cleared. But that's another story. I'm not here to start talking about that. I'm just giving people food for thought. Fear is another one. If you can give people fear, fear opens you up. Just like if you are in a dark room and you hear a bang and then you're scared out of your wits, something happens to your frequency and energy that opens up. And fear is like you screaming to entities and dark energies to come close. So it's obvious that the whole of the first section that I talked about is geared up purposely by design to bring fear into your life. Secondly, fear creates an energy within you that energy is fed by darkness. So it's like the darkness in this world, which is always here, feeds from your fear. It also feeds from anger. Anger is a massive one too. Also, non-foods. When you eat poison foods, that is another way that you can also get the same thing as this entity attachment. That's why people say, I can't stop eating, right? There's a reason for that. Entity. Energy. Energy. Bad energy. When you are in a room with bad energy, it is easier for darkness to attach. Much easier. Be aware of this. It's so important. Okay. There are certain places, prisons, hospitals, and so on, where there are more entities, there are more attachment, there's more dark energy there than other places. So it's important to clear your space. It's important where you go. I give you other great examples where entities thrive from big crowds, especially big crowds. Why? Because fear, anger, hate is infectious. So it's easy for them to create. And if you've got alcohol, if you've got drugs, and if you've got lots of people, you've got a great combination to have entity attachment and to cause great harm, and they can feed from that. So if you go to, let's say, a crazy rock concert, sometimes bad things can happen there. If you go to a football match where people are angry, you can get the same thing there as well. Just food for thought. Ouija board. Ouija board is one of the most dangerous, in my humble opinion, things to use, because there's something about the Ouija board that I can't explain, but it does have demonic attachment to it. Don't touch them. Don't go near them. Somebody once said to me, but if your intention is beautiful and pure, why is it any different from using the tarot cards? And I say, because there's something very different. And I've never been able to explain it. I've never been able to put my finger on it, even though I've studied it. I just know that, using cards, I always say to people, when you use your cards, use them when you're in a happy place, when you're feeling strong and confident. So, I never touch my cards when I'm feeling bad. Different from crystals. Crystals are fine because they hold a frequency that is high vibration. So that's a different thing. Okay. Entering into the black screen is now one of the most, for me, dangerous places to go, and is causing this entity connection, which brings forward darkness, fear, worry, and it goes back to the need of being somebody else and losing yourself and not being who you are, which means that you don't frequently vibrate at the frequency you should. If you believe in yourself and you love yourself, you vibrate at a high frequency. If you're looking at other people and you're admiring them and feeling bad because you're not like that person, you are lowering your frequency and you're open to entity attachment and sadness and feeling of lost and not knowing why or what your purpose in life is. So the black screen is now one of the most dangerous things, which means that you need to choose what you're looking on the black screen, and it's important that you choose wisely. Religion is for me one of the most dangerous ways to get the attachment, to live in a virtual prison and not see anything other than what the scripture says. Black magic, dark magic, anything to do with voodoo and all that is another place where, for me, it's just lowers your frequency and brings forward such a negative energy, and at times can make you just kill yourself, in the sense of you believe in this so much and you hear it so much and you believe there's curses and all these things, and then you start believing you've got it because you banged your foot or something's gone wrong. And once you bring that into your life, then you kill yourself by your own energy and your own belief, your own thoughts and your own focus. So bad things to keep away from. Listening to deceivers, liars, and con men, it's very hard now to sift through the people who are being put into place deliberately. Remember, the people who are making the cake, they're all in there. They got their place. They know just when they need to mix up and send you all over the place. So be aware of who you're listening to. If any of those tell you to do something, that is a red flag, and that should instantly make you run a mile. Nobody should tell you to do anything. And if they do, they're doing it for a reason. And it's never anything that I believe is positive. I don't tell anybody to do anything. I give advice and say, make your mind up, see how it feels, do whatever you feel. But if somebody tells you to do something like you get in line and you get that thing stuck in your arm because I'm telling you to, there's a problem. And you are listening to the wrong people, and you shouldn't be listening to these people. You should be, okay. When I say listen, what I mean is there's a difference between listening to a conversation and then going and following through what they say. Just blindly, you can't do that anymore. You can't blindly do anything. You've got to do the research. So these are some of the things that I believe. With tarot cards, there is a safety net. You're working with your higher self. With Ouija boards, it's like opening the door and anything can come in. That's very, very accurate, actually. It's like opening a portal, and you're inviting. It's almost like it's being created to invite. And, when you think about the Ouija board, if you take that and you extend that to something even greater and bigger, what does it remind you of? It reminds me of CERN. It's been created to invite the wrong entity in, but in a larger way, in a bigger way. Great point. The good guys may be few. We still have good ones. Others are waking up too, as well. Yeah, that's true. There's one thing I'd just add to that, and I don't want to sound negative here. I just want to put this point to you. If we are waiting for the saviors, if we're waiting for Trump, if we're waiting for whoever it may be to save this world, Jesus or whoever, are we not still in that trap? Are we not still a victim? We need to wake people up. Isn't that the same? Because what you're saying is we're waiting for people to wake up to make the difference and that change. Again, we're still being involved in the same very clever manipulating game. So we are waiting for people to awaken. I'm not waiting for anybody to awaken. That's long gone. I realize that that's long gone. That's not, it's not, I'm not even interested. Oh, so-and-so's awake, not even interested, because one person ain't going to change this. It just means that we have to work on ourselves. And if somebody does awaken, okay, it's like, you see, my issue with this, I don't want to go too deep, but I think the ones on this planet who knew, who know, it's not about them being. When I said I was 38, I started seeing things that I never saw before. If you heard what I said, did I see them before that? Yeah, I did. I saw them as a kid. So what I'm trying to say is that those who have been asleep, who never saw any of that, can never be awake, in my humble opinion. And I don't think people are waking up to the degree that you are hoping for, because you've got this, I'm not having an injection anymore. Oh, I'm not taking another one anymore. Oh, thank God they're awake. But are they awake? Be honest. Look at what they're doing. They're still doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And they still do it. And so they're only open to certain degrees, but they're not really awakened. It's just a factual, somebody hit me over the head with a hammer. So you know what? I'm not going anywhere near him anymore. Well, that's not awakening. Somebody stuck a needle in my arm. Now I'm sick. So I'm awakened. No, it's just that you're sick and it was the needle. So that doesn't make them awakened. So my feeling is, I think we came here either awakened or we didn't. And I know that's a hard thing to digest. But I would say to you, if you said to me, oh, I became awakened at 35, I'd say to you, I'd have a sit down and chat with you, because I did with many clients. And then I realized, no, you've always been awake. It's just that we choose or choose not to move into that frequency and energy, but we always knew something was wrong. But I've met people who can only give you, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't believe politicians. You don't believe politicians, but then why are you going to vote for them? Oh, don't know really, because maybe it's going to be better. Do you see what I mean? They're not awakened. So, you can be David Icke and you can push and push and push, but I don't think it's going to make, that isn't the answer. I think the answer is basically this planet either holds people who are of a different frequency and they can see through the bullshit, and there's people who come here who don't see it, no matter what you do. And once you accept that, then you can move forward in that being stuck in hoping that everybody's going to wake up tomorrow, because that holds you in the place. And I'm not being derogatory or negative. I'm just giving you opinions and thoughts that I've had for many years now. You are right, and I think as waking up as my own self to not feel alone. I've always been different and torn down my whole life because of it. It's good for you. Good for you, Angel. Well done. It's great to be able to see it. Yeah, maybe next time. Doesn't matter. Still an experience. That's not saying that we're any better than anybody else. This isn't what this is about. Well, we can all be tricked. We can all be deceived. That's for sure. But we can definitely see that some people are easier to deceive than others, for sure. So I'll just move on then. Some of the things that helped me along my journey of awakening, and thank God it helped me, was, of course, healing, learning how to heal, learning how to cleanse my body, having healing sessions, going to the spiritual kind of community where I trusted, and I obviously it's been hijacked, but there are certain people who are true healers. There are certain people who do certain work who are really good at what they do. That's something that you have to find. So going for massages, a good massage is fantastic. Eating the right foods is going to strengthen your immune system, which the immune system then, in my opinion, sends a shockwave to your nervous system that strengthens the nervous system, that strengthens the connection between the spiritual, and not only keeps you away from negative energy, because it does, because happiness is the greatest, and inner peace is the greatest frequency that you can vibrate at. Love, of course, is the same thing. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, going into Mother Nature is killing darkness from you, kills it. That's why they're trying their best to keep you into cities and tell you through movies that outside there is just wasteland, it's useless, don't go out there, you've got everything that you need in a city. That's because they're deceivers, and that's the imprisonment. That's the spiritual warfare. Vitamins help you with. Vitamins are important. All the minerals in your body, really important. The sun and the sea, vitally important. or at least try and mimic it by having a bath with sea salt. These are the things that really help. Oils, for some reason, oils penetrate the body and cause the body amazing healing effect. Incense, always, because you are cleansing your body of negative energy that you pick up from people from day to day. Clearing the negative energy from your body means that you will not feel bad, and thus you will not pick up entity and you will not be fooled. When are we most likely to be fooled? When we're not feeling good, when we are distracted. When you are of good energy because you've saged yourself, you've used Palo Santo, you've used oils, you're strengthening your body with a massage, you're having a healing session, and then you're listening to nice music, good, beautiful, happy, nice music. You're creating an environment within your spacesuit that I call the body temple that vibrates at a frequency that spirit just passes by. I'm talking about negative spirits, entities. They just pass it by because it's a waste of time. There's too many people out there are easier to influence and to pick up on because they're sick, they're on drugs. So it's easier for them to pick up on that. There is a side note to this, that when you start getting stronger and stronger, there is also other entities from other worlds that will try to hijack you as well. And that's another story. Creating, every time you destroy, every time you pull down, every time you mock and ridicule and judge, every time we do that, we are destroying that what we are and what we came for and what we came to be. So, of course, 24/7 is breaking spells, breaking news, breaking your back, breaking your heart, breaking your eyes, breaking you. That's what it's there for. Because if it can break you, it can break your energy. If your energy is broken, then the frequency that this other layer wants to feed from is creating. So when you create, you are, without a doubt, dangerous for this other layer of entities. So, but that's another story. Well, guys, I think that's it. That's kind of like 40 minutes of conversation of spiritual warfare, and to help you guys just think about it and sit and have a meditate somewhere about what's being said. Write down which resonated. That resonated with me. Watch it again. Write down what resonated with you, and you'll find that it'll lead you to where your consciousness wants you to go. So I can say 1,000 things, and one thing will just, wow, frigging hell. That one thing is a key that opens the door to your spiritual path and your creating and your happiness and joy. Follow those moments. It's like a crystal. I haven't really talked about crystals, but if you wear a crystal, they vibrate at a frequency. That's why the crystal always chooses you. That's why, I don't know why I would need that crystal, but that crystal I want. Why? Because whatever that frequency is, it's going to heal you and strengthen you and protect you and cleanse you. And that's why I wear and work with crystals, because they work. That's why I work with oils and incense, because they work on so many levels. So yeah, use sage. I don't know what that is. Breath work, 100%. Acupuncture. I've, to be honest, I can't say anything about acupuncture because I don't know. So there's no point me saying, oh yeah, if I don't know. I've never had it done. Crystals. I know about crystals because I work with them. So I know they're fantastic and they work so well. I know healing works because I learned healing and learned to give it. And I realized, wow, I've become so much stronger when you're a healer. So I recommend you go and learn how to heal. It's fabulous. Why not? As long as you learn from somebody reputable. If you think of yourself as weak, you will be weak. Absolutely, Marcus. It's all about what you're thinking. Your thoughts don't know the difference between good and bad. So you're absolutely right. Totally. I'm totally 100% on board. Your thoughts are either going to kill you or they're going to make you grow and grow to be amazing. So I guess they're all brilliant, Marcus. Thank you for that. Let's just look at this one. What's your opinions on psyche mushrooms? I've talked about any kind of anything that jumps you into a place that you might not be ready for it. So for me, I look at it like this. I've always had this thought process, and I know it's going to sound stupid, but like my real food, my food is where I was born. So all the foods that resonate with my body is where I was born. So where I lived, all that food, potatoes and all the things that we had as kids, all that food, the apples and the carrots, all that food, that was my food. Now take me somewhere else and all of that food might be fantastic, but it's not made for me. So yeah, you can eat it, but it's not the same frequency. So do you want to do ayahuasca? Well, I wasn't born where ayahuasca was. So maybe it's not really for me. And that's just one aspect. But you might say, well, there's magic mushrooms where you live. Good point. There is magic mushrooms. And I did take them. And when I was a kid, we took them. I only did it once. And I tried it. And the experience wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just an experience. Did I get anything from it? No, I didn't. That doesn't mean that somebody else next to me isn't going to get something from it. So me judging by what I've done, just by that one thing, I don't think it's enough. If I'd have taken magic mushrooms for 10 years, then I might have an experience. I might have the experience to be able to say to you, yes, good or bad. So has magic mushrooms got its place? I don't have an answer because I don't know. You need to speak to somebody who takes magic mushrooms. But for me, I like that. This is what I like. I like to do things that I can say, I climbed that mountain. I climbed that mountain, right? And my spiritual mountain, I don't want to jump onto a helicopter and get to the top and say, wow, it's beautiful. Thanks for giving me the ride. I don't want the ride. I want to do the journey myself. So I meditate. Most days I meditate as much as I can. I do deep spiritual work. I try and connect as often as I can. And every now and again, I'll be so blown away by reaching a place that I believe is so close to nirvana that it stays with you for the rest of your life. The one thing I recognize, and I've done lots of ceremonies with shamans, but never done ayahuasca, lots of other stuff. They put up your nose and you're coughing everywhere. It's like burning. And I've taken, other things, dragon herb, which in theory should kill you. But when you're in the presence of shaman and they create that space, then all what happens is you basically detox and you throw up or whatever you go through. All of those things didn't really affect me, neither here nor there. I didn't really get that much from intaking of these things, but I did when I did my own stuff in the energy of a frequency of shamans and different healers, or when I was doing healing work. That was like mind blowing. It was heart blowing. It was stuff that you only read in magic fairy tale books, and these things stay with you forever because they're natural. It's all natural. Whereas if I'm jumping into the spiritual takeaway of ayahuasca, it's take it, okay, I need to go back again for another hit. That doesn't work with me. That never worked. I didn't get it. Okay, what did you get from? Oh, I got all sorts. I want to go back. So you wasn't really fulfilled. And I noticed a lot of people keep going back for another hit. So they were never really reaching the top of the mountain. They were just jumping into a helicopter, getting up there, saying, "Oh, it's a lovely view. Now I need to go back down." And you see what I mean? So that's my humble opinion. But I ain't got no issues with anybody taking drugs. All I've got to say is this: just be careful if you do, because you are not in your own balance. You are not in control which means that entity can smile and say, hello, and they can influence and they can stick with you. And I have had to help many people who have had bad ayahuasca trips for months and they were traumatized. And some I can actually tell you were in hospitals for weeks and weeks. Not everybody, but I got to see the worst of it, especially here in Marbella where everybody's a shaman now. Yeah. I did a video, but yeah, I got taken down. I wonder why they took that down, and it did 500,000. It was taken down. Wonder why that is. Why did that disappear? All about business. Remember the layers, all about business, making money, but it's also about the spiritual aspect of it and all the other things that go with this kind of spiritual takeaway, fast food spirituality, I call it. So that's my conclusion, but I'm biased, I guess, because I really like to do the work myself. I really love doing the work myself, and once you hit that level, you don't come down from it. When you do these kind of other stuff, you come down from it. There's a coming down. When you reach nirvana in that energy, you've always got it. It's within you. It never leaves you. It's almost like you don't need anything else. It's like, wow, that moment when I was sat by the tree and my mum came over and hugged me, the vibration to that frequency, that real connection of that meditation with guided meditation was so profound. And it also opened me up to be an amazing psychic and healer from that moment on. My work has evolved, and I have met many people, many psychics, many healers. And one of the first things I said is, do me a reading now. So they'd gone and they'd gone to do ayahuasca. Then I met them the next day and they did me a reading. It was shit. It was shit. And I said, that was shit. That reading was a dump. And they'd go, yeah, you're right. That was crap. That was really bad. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Yeah. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Why isn't it that why is it that whenever I met somebody who did that stuff, could never read for ages? They were just off. They were out of balance, out of sync. Guys, I could tell you stories that would make you think, yeah, this guy's telling the truth. What he's saying is telling the truth. I am telling you the truth because if it was real, I'd be doing it. I do tarot cards. I'm saying it's real because I work with them and they're brilliant. So I'm telling you, yeah, I'm not taking you away from spirituality. I'm just telling you factual evidence of what I saw from people who did certain things and what I was worried about and scared, and wow, that's not good. Whoa, that's dangerous. Whoa, that's not psychic. That's a bullet. Whoa, that's not what you're doing. That's not healing. You're actually stealing their energy because you're sick. And, I saw things and I shared that. And that's why I'm hated. I am hated by the spiritual community. So much so, there's so much anger, so much rage. Cut me off. I am not welcome in the spiritual community around the world. Why? Because I tell the truth. I haven't got an agenda. I'm not trying to sell cards in the sense of I'm not trying to sell things. I'm not trying to sell spirituality. I'm not wanting you to buy into me. So what they're saying that I'm saying is the opposite. Now they're getting angry. No, I'm just telling you my truth. That's it. It's pretty simple, really. It is. And you feel so good for it as well. But yeah, everybody wants things quick. That's the problem. I can't feel anything. I've been meditating for that and it just doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, well, there you go. You're already convincing yourself it's not working. And part of that, if you know my teachings, my sharing, is our biggest block, is our frustration, but more so what we want. I need this. I need to see it. It's like, yeah, you're just killing your own spirituality. This isn't a race. This is a way of life. And yet people have hijacked the spiritual community and said, okay, if you do this with me, you do this course with me, and I can guarantee this is going to happen, and this will. No, you can't guarantee nothing in the spiritual world. I have a course for 4 days, and then people say, "Am I a healer?" I said, "No, you're beginning your healing process. Now you're starting the healing process. You're not a healer. You're beginning. All you've done is learn how to heal. Now the healing begins." Oh, I thought I'm a healer. No, you're not a healer now. You're just going to have to work now 5, 6, 10 years. And somewhere along the line, you'll look back and say, yeah, you're right, Mark. I wasn't a healer at all. I say, yeah, I know, because you have to go through the process. It's a lovely process, but people want everything now. Give it me now. I want to learn it now. I want to learn it in an hour. Tell me spirituality in an hour. It's when you fall for anything. Okay, guys. Well, it's been a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this little chat. I'm wishing you all a lovely evening. It's just food for thought. Just because I believe one thing doesn't make it real and right. Do whatever you feel is right and follow your own path and your own truth. And above all, every experience is an experience, not right or wrong. It's just an experience. I was glad at times when some of the shamans that I met helped me in a certain direction. I was glad that I met my first mentor, who spent her life in the Caribbean, most of her life learning black magic. And I made the choice of not wanting to learn that. However, I picked up a lot from her, and I learned a lot that I didn't want. So good or bad, right or wrong, we learn from these things. And we then, like somebody said, free will. It's our choice to what we decide to experience and what we want to embrace and let go. And if anybody tells you not to do it, you do whatever you want. I'm just sharing like that. Well, just be a little bit wary of that. I wouldn't go near that, just be, well, that's good. Okay, well, I'll listen to him, but maybe I will go and maybe I will try it. Try it, see how it goes. But, I think it's nice to have different aspects of truths and experiences from everybody. And it's fascinating because nobody knows everything. And the way I come at things may be different from the way somebody else comes at things. So we come from different places of what we see and feel. So nobody's right or wrong. It just is what it is. It's our experience. And that's it, basically. Thank you. Well, it's a beautiful evening. I'm going to go back now and just have a rest. I'm feeling, not that you're interested, but I'm feeling very strong right now, feeling happy. And I do believe that the most important thing, and this is what I want to leave you on, what I've learned in the whole of my time of reading for others and being in meditation and being a healer and a psychic, what I do understand about this world is that I did choose to come here, no matter how hard it is. The one thing I do know is that it's not what I signed up for in the sense of what this world should be like. And maybe the pain and the suffering that I'm going through is the fact that this is not how the world should be. So because of that, what do I do to try and make the world a better place? Well, it can only start within. I am what I want to create. And at the end of your last breath, when you leave this world, you can look back and say, I didn't sell my soul to the devil. I didn't. I did my best, even though I made mistakes. I grew from them, and I did my best in the world. I tried to help. I tried to create. And if you've done your best, if you really believe you've done your best, that I believe is the experience. That's the experience. And that's it. So don't ever beat yourself up. Don't ever keep yourself low because you wish you hadn't have done something, or you wish somebody hadn't done something to you. Don't hold yourself to that. Make today the first day of the rest of your life. I always say that. I mean it. Make today the first day of the rest of your life. In fact, you haven't even started living. Right now is when you're going to start living, right now. And now you're going to make that change, and you're going to look towards the positive. You're going to look towards your dreams, your goals, and you're going to start to channel this beautiful energy which is around you, because all I've talked about tonight is the darkness, but it's important to know that there's always equal light and dark, yin and yang. So you can easily tap into that light as easy as darkness can tap into your energy and steal it. So the happier you become, the more healthier you become, the more you exercise, the more you eat real food, the body says thank you. The body vibrates. The body turns into electrical energy frequency that is so powerful that you look younger, you're stronger, you're happier, you connect to so many wonderful things. Magic happens. People come into your life. You meet beautiful people. So it's ultimately only up to you, and no Trump, no Peter Jordan, Jordan Peterson, I don't even know his name, no other healer or psychic or guru can do any of those things for you. No, nobody. You can't meet anybody to do them things. Ultimately, it's up to you. So here's the point. I go to a healer and I feel better. Did the healer do that? No, he didn't. You did it. No, I didn't. He did it. No, you did it, because you made the decision to go there. The decision to go there was that what made you heal better, not the healer. Think about that. Because if you say it's the healer, then you've just given your power away again. Don't give your power away. I didn't heal anybody. They healed themselves. I was just part of that journey. And if a healer says, I healed you and you need to come back to me 6 more times, or you need to listen to me. No, mate. No. I came to you because I listened to myself. And I'll come back when I'm ready, if I'm ready to come back again, or maybe never again. But this was my journey. This was my decision. This was my free will. And I came to you because it felt right. But I am not bowing down to you because I feel better. No, actually, good on you, Mark, for choosing wisely. I'm glad I went to that person, Shirley. She's up on my wall. Didn't make her a guru. I'm glad I got that energy. Thank you. But I didn't make her the fixer of me. I fixed myself because it was my moment to fix myself. That's why I say to people, oh, thank you, Mark, when you really healed me. No, you didn't. You healed yourself. You made the conscious decision. I didn't. I just saw it on Facebook. You were doing a healing session. No, that was your spirit, your guide inside, leading you to the right place because your consciousness was ready. And when that happens, miracles happen. The connection between you and the spirit world or other worlds, which are beautiful, guiding you and leading you to the right place, is so cosmic. It's beyond our understanding. That once that conscious decision is made inside, that we will be the healer of our life. And that's where I'll leave it tonight. I wish you all a lovely, lovely day, night, morning, whatever you're doing. Take care. And remember the 31st, or if you like my work and if you want to have a look at the testimonials, because what I've learned in these years, I put it all together in 4 days. And if you're going to do a course, maybe that's why you're here. I don't know, but it's now at 404 for 2 courses, and it's normally 1,200. So this is an amazing time because you've got till the 31st, and these 2 courses are basically everything that I learn about healing and change my life forever. It's not a sales pitch. I'm just telling you because I could have told you when it was 1,200, but it's 404 for both courses, and it's online. It's interactive in the sense of you click a button, you watch the video, and then you do a healing session, and it's brilliant. So that's available till the 31st. Go to www. Just put it down here. www.peh www.pehacademy.com. If you go there and read up on the 2 courses, I've only 2 courses on there, and the best thing I ever did when we went on lockdown. We literally have thousands of people whose lives were changed from those 4 days and the other 4-day course. So you can learn how to heal, and how we learn everything in that healing modality. And then there's another course for 4 days, which is all about crystals. That's if you like crystals. So you can take one of the courses separately at 275. Remember, the courses were 600 and something. So it's something to think about. And you've got till the 31st, and then it goes back up to 600 and something. So I think it's a fantastic course, and I'm proud of it. And look at the testimonials, look at the family. They're beautiful, and they're all independent, and they're all doing their own thing, and they don't bow to anybody because they know that they are the power, they are the energy. It's just incredible. Anyway, I'm going, guys. I'm wishing you all a lovely day from my heart to yours. Thank you for being here. I've enjoyed this moment with you, and you're all amazing. So keep shining, keep being amazing. Bye for now. Bye. Going home now. Bye.